Good morning, guys. Hey, it's Alicia here, giving you your daily dose. Again, I'm in a challenge group, and this is my day 3 video. My goal is to post one video till the end of November, so here it goes. So, as you can see from my title, it says a dog sat on a nail. Now, why on earth would I put that title on there? Well, because it's a story. So, once upon a time, there was a dog on a porch who sat on a nail. And there was an old man rocking on the rocking horse, not the rocking horse, rocking in the rocking chair, just as calm as can be. And, hey, Colleen. And a person walked up to the porch because the dog was howling. The dog was like, whining. You know how dogs do that sometimes. Sometimes they do that. And a guy came up to the porch and said, "Hey, Jack, why is your dog whining?" "Oh, that old hound," he said. "He's sitting on a nail." And he goes, "Sitting on a nail? Why is he sitting on a nail?" He goes, "He's just comfortable there." And the guy said, "When it becomes uncomfortable enough, he'll move." And the dog just kept sitting there. You know what? Sometimes we are the dogs sitting on the nail, and things aren't uncomfortable enough for us to want to move. But one day, we're going to shift in our seat, and there's going to be a sharp pain, and we are going to want to move real fast. But not until that one word that I said. What was that one word that I said? Was anybody actually listening? I said until the dog shifts. A shift has to happen in order for that dog to hit a nerve for it to move off of the nail that it sits on. We're the same way. We don't move off of our proverbial nail until it becomes painful enough for us to move. Now, think about that. If the dog has been sitting on the nail made a hole, right? So once a person gets off of their proverbial nail, there's still a hole to fill in. So there's two options here. The story keeps going from here. When you get off your proverbial nail, there's still an empty hole. And two things are going to happen. Number one, it's going to heal, or number two, it's going to fester. It all depends on how you take care of the hole that's left behind by the nail. Because even though the nail was painful, it was still filling a space. It was still serving a purpose of being in that space, in that hole. Even though it was painful, that hole is still going to be there. And something has to happen after the person makes that shift. There still has to be a healing process. So what are you going to fill the hole with? Are you going to fill the hole with something that's good for you, something that is going to help you progress forward into your healing, which could be anything. It could be a counselor. Hey, Nancy. It could be, and hey, Eileen. It could be a counselor. It could be praying. It could be going to church. It could be meditating. Whatever it is that you feel that can fill your hole would be something that would bring it towards healing. Now, for me personally, hey, Jason Tram, what would fill that hole? So we just told a little story about a dog who was on a porch and was sitting on a nail and was crying about her, howling about it, and how when the dog shifted, and only when it shifted, it hit a nerve, and so it had to move off the nail. And when it moved off the nail, because of that shift, it still had healing to do. The hole needed to be filled. So I was suggesting different ways that the hole can be healed. Now, you can heal it through seeking counseling, going to church, praying, meditating. But the one thing that I do know is if you don't take care of that hole, it can fester and get worse and lead to worse consequences, maybe amputation of the leg. Now, we're not talking physically, we're metaphorically speaking here, but it could lead to something worse. It could lead to depression. It could lead to something worse. But you have to first acknowledge that you have this hole and you have to fill it. Now, I personally have found that one of the best ways to fill that hole is with the love and the energy that God or Jesus has to give, because he is the never ending stream that always fills and will never stop. Like when the dog was punctured with the nail, it left a hole. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you were to put your hand down, Colleen, on a nail, it would leave a hole and you'd have to heal it. It's not just going to go away. You take the hand away and there's still a hole there. The nail's still there. The nail is whole, but you're not. You have a hole in your hand. Just like, you know, anything. The dog had a hole in it, so it has to heal. So that's what I'm talking about. That's the hole. Sometimes the hole could be metaphorical. It could be like you feel like emptiness inside. Like, you know, sometimes when I feel a little empty, I might want to go shopping. I might want to fill my hole, you know, emotional hole with some retail therapy, but that's not going to ever fill it. There's only one place that I know of that's the everlasting water, which is Jesus or Yeshua or whatever you call him. Yeah. So that hole can be filled. You know, I had this one retreat that Dan and I went to, and he talked about our lives being like a cup, but we have a hole in the bottom of our cup. And every day we get our life filled, our cup filled with different things. It could be music. Hey, Megan. It could be our cup could be filled with affirmations from somebody. It could be filled with our children. It could be filled with Disney World. It can be filled with, but there's a hole at the bottom of that cup. And every single day, hi, Jackie. Every single day, the hole drains everything that filled that cup for that day. So every morning, we wake up with an empty cup. And then what do? Then we have to find the next thrill. And the next thrill. And the next thrill. Or else we feel like we have an empty cup. If we filled Jesus with our cup every single morning, he fills it up, but he's a never ending. So he'll always keep filling it, filling it, filling it, filling it. We'll never have an empty cup with him. Get a new cup. There's only cups with holes. None of us are perfect, Colleen. So it would be like getting a perfect body. That's called heaven. Only when we go to heaven do we have a perfect cup. We all have holy cups. we're holy. Whole like H-O. Yeah, me too. We're all cracked pots. All of us are cracked pots. None of us are full. None of us. There's always something somewhere. You know, there was Ralph Waldo Emerson once wrote a amazing piece called The Law of... Oh, it's not coming to me. I wish Klaus was here. The Law of... Somebody tell me. Hey, Maria. It's a law of give and take. As a law of... Shoot, I should know this. So anyway, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote an amazing piece. The law of... There's a law, not a law of attraction. It's not law of attraction. But it's an equality law. In other words, there's always an equity in this life. There's always give and take. There's always one person who's giving. There's always one person who's taking. There's always like the rich person whose child dies, or the poor person who has an amazing spouse. Oh, fudge. I was just getting into, okay. Hopefully I'm back with you guys. Are we back? Are we back? Yes, please say we're back. All right, my internet's acting weird, which is strange because I have incredible internet. The law of... It's a long essay. But Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote this amazing essay talking about how life is equal. Life is always equal. You think he gave the example of one time of a bank robber who was bad, but he had the most beautiful, perfect, close to perfect, good children. And because of the good children, he stopped being bad. Law of compensation? Is that it? Did you look it up? Yes, that's it. Thank you, Colleen. Ralph Waldo Emerson's law of compensation. There's always, always, always compensation. You're either going to live in paradise but lack something in your body. You're going to be lacking something in your life, but you're going to live in the most beautiful paradise of a place. Or you can have the most incredible musical ability, but no ability to relate to people. That's another one. Like, I know people who are musical genius, but have no personality whatsoever. Some people are gifted on the other side. Some people have everything perfect and then they die at a young age. So, you know what? There's always going to be that give and take. The law of compensation is always in effect. It never stops. So, when you're thinking that you're being cheated in your life of something, when you feel like you have that empty hole, know that there's something on the other side. Maybe we have a doppelganger, someone who's exactly opposite. Like, I'm not the richest girl in the world financially, but I am in love. I am in my family. I am in my husband. I am in my parents. You know, I have lots of wonderful things going on in that direction. And it's okay, you know, I'm rich in a lot of amazing ways, and I'm not discounting that because I am rich beyond my wildest dreams. I am is one of my favorite things. And it's funny, sometimes when I feel like I'm lacking, I have to counteract that with fun sing-songy stuff just to kind of make myself feel better. And when I kind of lift my vibration to that different level, things start coming. They start appearing. Like, for instance, last week I went over to the store and I found an awesome vacuum for $25. My mother used to say I'm rich in love. Yeah, you know what? Mommy's right. She's 100% right. And look at all the love that she really does have. She really does. She really does. And we can't discount that. We can't look God's gifts in the face. Since the law of compensation is something that is completely true, we need to make sure that we are loving on what we do have so that what we don't have can come to us. Do you know how many things I've gotten for nothing? A lot. The things just find me. And, you know, I have my days where I don't feel so hot. You know, everybody has those days. Some days I think to myself, you know what? You could just take me now, God. Just, they're not going to miss me that bad. I know that's not true. But there are days when I'm deep in meditation with Jesus and I'm just like, can't I just stay here forever? It would be so much nicer. But I've got a job to do, and so do you. So be grateful for what you have. Try to stop sitting on that tack. Get off, make the shift, and make sure you find something that is a healing element to go over that hole that's left behind. Hey, Judy, thanks for joining. I'm just about to get off. You can listen to the replay. So I got other stuff I got to do. I got to get ready for the dentist. Fun. And I'm hungry. My belly's been rumbling. I gotta go eat. Hey, one day we'll all be in heaven and we'll never have that hungry feeling again, emotional or physical, right? Have a great day, guys. Bye.